Ruben and
Mr. Richard. I am also a gynecologist by night, so send pictures.
Well, we're back again.
So what did you do this weekend, Ruben? Anything funny?
Besides work and drink.
Well, that's fun.
I mean, shit.
I caught some fish, and I'm playing with my pussy right now.
What the? Oh my god!
Oh.
God damn it,
Oh,
Jimmy!
and a cock too.
Oh my god! What the heck, Jimmy?
Yeah, my Jimmy. No, I mean like a rooster and a cat. Like literally, my cat and my rooster.
Yeah.
Like, legit. Did you find out where we can load up pictures?
Yeah, I can load up pictures. Like, send me the pictures you want me to send, and I'll put them up here.
Cool.
Yeah, you just send them, text me, and I'll just have them all set up.
And did we get a phone number set up yet?
I have the phone number. I can put it up here. Wait, let's see.
Yeah, put up the phone number. That way, if we start talking about something, somebody wants to call, we can have our first fucking caller. First caller gets a prize of absolutely 1 penny.
Yeah. I fucked up. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's okay. We need to do two by the end of this in 2 hours. I'm gonna be retarded. Oh yeah, and it's Super Bowl weekend, right? Is it Super Bowl today?
Yeah, it is Super Bowl weekend. So I'm.
Do you even know who's playing? I have no idea.
It's the Kansas City and the Philadelphia. Not gonna lie, I'm wanting Philadelphia to win because I'm sick and tired of seeing Kansas City win now. I remember
Kansas City's been doing a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it on, but I only watch the commercials. I really don't get too much.
Me and my buddy, we're about to see it. I'm planning to place a bet soon. I'm thinking about doing $10.
I was gonna ask you if you're gonna place a bet. Remember, you gotta cover the spread and stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing something like recommended bets, like put 10 and win 500 back or whatever.
No, you gotta do like some kind of stupid like parlay bet and crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing too.
Ugh.
But you know,
I'm actually redoing mahjong tiles into tarot cards.
Well, I know the more I think about it, it's like the Super Bowl felt kind of like the last two felt staged up, because when Kansas City won, I'm like, okay, they won. Second time, they won again, but I think it was more because of Taylor Swift and all about the way I think about it, the whole president thing, you know.
The Super Bowl died when Janet Jackson had her boob put up by Justin Timberlake or whatever. I don't know who's playing at the Super Bowl at the halftime. Do you know?
I think it's gonna be Kendrick Lamar.
You know who that is?
It's a rapper.
The black dude?
Yeah, the black dude.
Yeah. the Jimmy? My Jimmy?
My Jimmy. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is going to be playing at the... Yep, Super Bowl.
Oh, shit.
So, kind of crazy.
Yeah, we should actually do a podcast, too, after the Super Bowl, but it would be too late. We're going to be too shit-faced.
Yeah, no, we'd be too drunk. I don't know. But, with all that being said...
What beer are you drinking, Mr. Rube?
What?
What beer are you drinking?
Corona.
Lime or no lime?
No limes.
Lime, no limes, no lime. No,
I'm being a man today. I drink my beer straight.
And I drink my Skull like God intended. P.S. Our new sponsor is Skull because I spend too much money on them that they need to be paying me back something. Shout out Skull Vodka. When you absolutely give up on life. Does it say
Skull Vodka?
Yep. Absolutely. When you give up on life, go straight to Skull.
Yeah. Goddamn. Another thing. Let me see. I'm gonna play around with this. I don't know. I was still doing the research about the about how there's chemicals in they're spraying bacteria in the fog.
Okay, so explain this to me, since I don't know. This would be a good back and forth. So, who the fuck is spraying what now?
So literally, okay. So on TikTok, they're talking about how the reason why, like, I don't know if you've been sick, but a lot of people have been getting sick, right? And they're all yeah. So a lot of people have been getting sick, and they've noticed that there's been a lot of fogs. Well, apparently some researchers took some samples from this fog, and apparently it has this viral bacterial infection that can affect people. And supposedly it's been doing that, and some people are calling it biological warfare.
And these people are idiots.
Why?
So, because, like, how the fuck? Like, it'd be why not just, like, launch a nuke? Like, why not just, like, launch a nuke and kill fucking 100,000 people, a million fucking people?
Well,
like, you know how much time and effort it would take to do something, like, devious like this?
I
And
don't know.
there's bacteria everywhere. Like, there's, what's it, staph infections, yeast, literally, yeast is everywhere. Like, if you put bread out and it molds, and that's, bacteria, fungus, and everything's in there. You know how you could smell rain coming?
Yeah.
You know, like when it rains, all of a sudden you smell it, you know?
Yeah.
You're not actually smelling, like, the rain itself. You're not smelling the water, because the water doesn't smell like anything. You're actually smelling the bloom of fungus and bacteria in the air. So it's like, I just don't see how this would be biological warfare. There'd be a lot easier ways to do this instead of putting it in the air. Just our water source, like put it in our water source or something. One of my friends, let us say nameless, she thinks that, like, the airplanes that leave those jet trails when the airplanes fly by or the jets fly by.
Oh, the chemtrails? Yeah, that is real, man. I'm starting to believe that.
Not real. I don't really believe that at all. Like, if you just look at the physics of it, it's like, dude, when like, there is some kind of chemical trail, but basically what you're seeing is, like, the air currents. Like, it's like the jet's traveling so fast, you're just seeing the burn of, like, the air going around and making, like, kind of like how, like, a waterfall turns water into white because it's going so fast.
Well,
right?
The more you think about it, well, you got to think about, well, why would they tell you they're not spraying anything? Because it'll cause concern. Why? Like, think of it like they're spraying stuff. Every time when you see those chemtrails, I've noticed people change. One day they're acting normal, and then out of nowhere, you see a plane go by, you see the trails, and people start acting up.
Well, there's trails every single day.
Yeah.
So then you wouldn't see a difference then. There's not a day a jet doesn't fly over you with a fucking chemtrail, you know. So
it's every day. So, like, no matter what, it just tries to get you to do something.
Yeah, it's also considered, like, parts per million, you know. Yeah. It's like, if you go take a piss, if you take a piss in the ocean, right, and fucking I'm like 10 foot away, just 10 foot away, and I take some water. Don't drink ocean water, by the way, idiots. But if I take a sip, I'm not going to taste piss.
Yeah.
It's just because you're literally putting a cup of water into a gabillion fucking gallons. So I don't know. I do understand some conspiracy theories, especially everything that's been coming out lately. But I don't, like. I think it's like what we talked about the other day about just, like, our food. It's way, like, if you're worried about the jet streams or the chemical trails of planes coming over,
yeah,
you should be more worried about and you're stopping by McDonald's and getting your kid a Happy Meal. Like, I think you should be more worried about the Happy Meal than fucking the chemtrails that are, like, because you are directly eating that, putting that into your body, and that jet is way, way above you, and by the time whatever the hell gets down. But, I mean, I understand that there is stuff that is, like, goes back and forth and can make you fucking sick, and we don't know everything about everything. But I don't know. I just think that's a little bit far-fetched.
What is going on?
What is that? Explain yourself. Remember, you're on the radio.
Well, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. My computer's kind of, like, being stupid.
Damn AI.
Damn AI, yeah. Fucking hell. Well, I was trying to see what the hell's going on because... Okay, no, now it's working.
No dead air. Keep talking.
Yeah, we gotta keep talking. But,
So, far away. Give me a subject.
Fucking... Well, that was a good subject right there.
How about the time thing? You wanted to talk about time.
Oh, dude. Like, all right. So
you leave.
I was talking to one of my coworkers about this, and even he was mentioning, like, ever since COVID, man, everyone's perception on time has been messed up. Like, it is crazy. Like, honestly.
I can totally believe that, yeah.
Well, like, time has been going faster. And I remember before when I was in high school, dude, in school, in high school, middle school, elementary school, days would just go on for, like, a long time. I remember I'd be up, like, late at night, like, without a care of the world. I'm like, damn, it's been a long time. But now, time just goes quick. Like, it gets
worse the older you get, Ruben, the quicker time moves.
Yeah.
It's just weird. And I guess it goes back to like Einstein. It's the perception of time. Yeah. Put it this way: if you're ever wanting to get out of class because you got something to do, like you want to go party with your buddies, or you got a little date or something like that,
yeah,
and you're waiting for that bitch to hit fucking 3:00, and you watch that clock.
Yeah.
If you're actually watching the clock, your perception of time, it literally makes time slow down. It is so weird. And it's like relativity and perception of everything is so key. So is time real? Ruben, is time real, or is it just a construction of mankind?
I think it's hard to talk about that because I think time is real because you need time for something. But it is also a construct that was made up by the church.
Right. The church, and actually more than the church, you know what really, really made it like sync together? Railroads. Like railroads, they had to when we did a railroad across the United States, they actually had to sync everybody's clocks. Back then, it was like their clocks should have been an hour off, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Because my town is at 8:00. Your town, it's not daylight savings time or whatever. There was no hour here, hour there. So but if the railroad was hauling fucking ass, the railroad had to go. This time we're gonna be here, so people could show up and people could load some stuff up, and it is to me time the way we perceive it is manufactured by humans.
Well, what's messed up about time is so. You can't go back in time. You can't go forward in time. You're stuck in the present. But the reason why there's a perception of time is the moment you go into space, time starts to not matter.
Because of gravity.
So
yes.
Yes.
They have done experiments where they've taken 2 atomic clocks, right? And I guess they call them atomic clocks because they literally use some biodegrade it's like how something degrades, like an atom degrades by this certain amount of time or something. Like you take some element and you put it in there, and it degrades exactly the same amount of time. And they have 2 clocks. They're atomic clocks. You cannot beat them. They're not gears. They are motherfucking atomic clocks. And they keep one on Earth, and they take one and they put it in space. And space, in like a month or 2 later, they bring it back down, and it's 3 seconds off.
Yeah. Oh, we got one viewer. What's up, man?
Oh, we got one. Yay.
Yeah.
We need 100. We just need 9,999 more.
Hell yeah.
But it is gravity seems to control fucking time. Like if you're going into the closer you get to the sun, the more gravity there is, or into a black hole. Supposedly time's supposed to stop, and that's just like, well, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna stop before, but how does it stop? Like you're still going into the black hole, so. How does time fucking stop? You know.
So I guess what they're referring as time is motion. You know.
No, it's like everything. How you age, even everything, the way that this is an atomic clock. So if it's an atomic clock, even the very elements, the molecules, the atoms, are slowed by gravity.
Well, whether you believe it or not, so there was this guy on TikTok. So he did his own experiment, which I'm going to plan to do. I'm planning to buy a phone soon, and I might do it. So supposedly, time has been messing up. So this guy did an experiment. He bought a phone early in the year, and he has his own personal phone that's connected to the automatic time. Well, he put the new phone on airplane mode, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to see what happens. He kept it charging no matter what, and he kept his regular phone. Well, a few months go by, and he looked, and for some reason, the phone that he had on airplane mode is a month behind. He's like, well, why is it a month behind? It's April and it's telling me it's March on this phone.
But did the time stay the same consistently?
Well,
so it's
no,
or it just lost like a minute a day.
So, well, a minute a day, like from 1 month, like that's hard just to be a minute a day. What I'm thinking is they're just trying to cut time as much as you can. And you know what? Like, not many people pay attention to the seconds. You know, you're like when you're looking at the clock, you're just paying attention to the hour. Yeah. So you're just saying like
we even go like it's this hour and 15 minutes, or it's a quarter past.
Yeah, but like
this 30. But you say like seconds are slipping by.
Yeah, they're cutting seconds like every day. Also, we have 8 viewers. What up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's up, lucky number 8?
Lucky number 8.
But actually, if you think about it, if we are going around the sun and we're going like if the Earth is technically, I believe, on the inside. Some planets are going to go out of the sun's fucking gravity. Some are going to go in, and we're on the inside of that. So technically, even minusculely, every year we're probably missing a couple seconds, maybe even a minute out of the time.
Yeah.
You know, because we're slowly creeping in, which makes our revolution around the Earth smaller. So, like, technically, we should just be paying attention to the month, I guess, and the day.
Yeah.
As long as the stars line up where they're supposed to line up, then I don't think we have to worry about it. Now, next thing you know, if it's supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to see Orion in the winter sky, and then you don't see that, and you see it in June, then that'd be a big problem.
Well, one guy said it good on TikTok. It was in the comments. He was like, you know, the only things that'll know time best is the animals, because they have their own internal clock.
Yeah, and we do too.
So yeah, like basically,
but we've lost it.
That's why I'm believing like the government or someone is trying to like speed up time for us, and I don't know why.
Well, it might just be they just don't want us to know that the Earth is fucking going closer to the sun. I mean, there's no way that truly they could keep speeding up time, because all of a sudden, like, everything would be different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm planting tomatoes at this time, and it's like, oh, by the way, it's over here.
Yeah.
You know?
But another thing, like, you gotta remember, like, how it snowed in Florida. When has it snowed in Florida?
When I was a kid, it depends on what you want to call snow. You know, when I was a kid, I seen it snow like once or twice.
Well,
and then
they had a couple inches of snow, like almost a foot of snow up North Florida.
Really? They had a foot?
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Wow, I can't believe that shit. I haven't actually watched TV in like a month.
Yeah. Well, people were posting about it. A lot of my friends went up there, like, yeah, it happened, you know? Yeah.
Hey, global warming, take that, you motherfuckers.
Well,
like,
it's a product of global warming. I mean, so what's happening is probably a part is getting hot, a part is getting cold, and they're just swapping, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't have it both ways, though. You can't have it when it goes super hot, you're like, I told you global warming, and then when it gets to freeze, you're like, well, it's because global warming went back the other way.
No. So, global warming is I do believe in a little bit of global warming, you know?
I do believe that we are causing it. Hey, Krista, we got our first guest, Ruben. Say hi to Krista. We're on our first third podcast.
What's up, Krista?
You don't have to use last names. It's a friend of ours.
Speak your mind, Krista. What do you think about the world and how it's treating you?
So we're switching subjects. We're talking about time.
Yeah.
We're talking about time, Ruben.
All right.
How do you perceive time?
Yeah.
How I perceive time is something I can never be on time for.
Oh my god. Does time feel like it's going quick? Do you feel like last year?
Yes, it does. It probably has gone faster and faster, and I know people say that as you get older, but I really feel like there's been a switch in the universe. In the past, like, everybody agrees I talked to, like, in the past, like, 3 to 4 years, something has switched. Like, there's been, like, some kind of switch, and, like, I don't know what it is, what caused it.
That's exactly what Ruben just said.
Yeah, it happened during COVID. Something happened where, well, so there's another thing I was going to bring up. So I don't know if you know about, like, technology and stuff. So there's this university or study group called CERN. So they smash, like, atoms to make black holes. and there's a theory going around.
It's a gigantic collider.
Yeah.
I think they definitely popped something up for sure.
So the theory is they made a black hole by accident. They couldn't get rid of it, and they shot it out.
It wasn't by accident. They were literally trying to make one the whole
Well,
time.
yeah. So, what if they did make a black hole and we didn't realize it? So overnight, the Earth was just sucked in. Boom. We went to a different universe where time is a little bit faster. Everything's the same, just a bit faster.
I don't even think we'd have to go to a different universe if we
possibly like. What do you think about the whole they say that our I think it's the core or something has quit spinning.
That's what I believe when the poles are going to switch.
They already said it's happening. They already said that the inside of our Earth core is not spinning or something like it used to. Like there's something going on with that. And then they've been talking about that a lot lately. I've been reading about.
If the magnetic field flipped, that's the end of the world. Like there's a thing called the Adam and Eve files from the CIA saying if the North Pole and the South Pole flip like the magnetic fields, shit goes crazy. Like fucking. All I know is like tidal waves come out of nowhere, like storm.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be volcanic eruptions.
If you look back on it, remember when that earthquake happened in Hades? They said that earthquake was so fucking hard that it literally tilted the Earth off its axis, and I really feel like that has a lot to do with what we're going through right now, possibly. Like maybe whatever that tilt was enough to like spin us off on a different time just a little bit, or do something to our rotation, or rotate faster or something.
Yeah, and look, you can actually see evidence in that the poles have switched every 10,000 years because there's volcanic rock that is 1 million years old, and when they drill through it and you pull out a core, if you take a magnet to it, the north and south switch every 10,000 years.
Or I think they uncovered something in Antarctica that's fucked some shit up. Because they've been doing a lot of studies over there, and all of a sudden now, they're really big. Antarctica has been a lot in our news lately, and the Earth poles have always been something of subject, right down to Jules Verne's back in the day writing about the pole. There's always been some kind of mysterious to the center of the Earth, and I feel like
journey to the center of the Earth.
There's always been some kind of theory to it, and even back in Hitler days, he actually sent soldiers to each end of the Earth to see if there was any truth behind it, and I feel like there maybe is some kind of truth behind something.
Oh yeah,
digging for something, dug too deep or something.
There's movies that are like the Nazis are living underneath Antarctica or something.
Oh my god, no! But the theory is that I'm not saying I'm a flat earther. I like to play around with the idea. I think that the Earth, there's something beyond the ice caps. Let's just say that. Maybe underneath. But what if instead of it being flat and infinite, more of it caves into a hollow Earth, And maybe
it's a portal to another dimension.
Now that's old school talk. That's Jules Verne, kind of what she was talking about. But I put it this way. Everything needs the sun to survive, basically.
Yeah.
There's very few what do you call them? Extremophiles. There's very few extremophiles that are like bacteria, single-celled organisms that can live without light. And they are literally a bacteria or a fungus or something that can live without light, but also have to feed off of the rocks or something like that. There ain't no fucking dinosaurs underneath the Earth.
Well, I'm not saying dinosaurs. I'm saying that what if think about it. If the Earth has a core, the core is kind of like the sun, right? And
that is true.
Yeah, you got to think about it, and if Earth is hollowed out,
Yeah, if it's all, but
you just gotta have to consider what they're doing to our moon. I'm sure mining our moon that holds our gravity is not good for us whatsoever.
That'd be the stupidest thing we could ever do.
They are mining our fucking moon right now.
Really? Wait, are they? Let me fact check this.
No, they really are.
They're planning on it.
No, they already started doing shit like that.
They've set stuff up there to do it, but they're
And that's another thing. Why is our government so fascinated?
Oh yeah, they are planning to do it soon. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're actually...
Why is our government so fascinated with? I think they're already doing it. They haven't told us about it. That's just everything that they say they're planning on doing, they're already doing it. They just haven't got public consent of it yet.
You stumbled upon Jules Verne. It's Jules Verne that did the fucking thing, but he did the Time Machine and the movie.
Jules Verne is beyond his time.
But he did, yeah. Wait, but he did the time machine, right? And then the movie that they put out, the guy literally goes forward to the future, right? And he's like, holy shit, the guy's like from like the Renaissance period, or like from 1800s or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he literally goes to the future and he looks up, and the moon is literally like 10 moons. It's because they mined it so much. Well, yeah. They mined it that it shattered itself, and when they shattered the fucking moon, it destroyed the Earth.
Well,
because the moon, not only is the moon connected to the tidal waves and like everything,
it's connected to keeps the gravity, keeps our rotation.
Planets and women's menstrual cycles.
Yeah, everything.
Well,
literally, he goes and looks at the moon, and it's like, uh-oh. And then also, when they mine it and it fractures, it also then rains down on the Earth.
Well, you got to think about it like this. So, whether anyone that believes in God or not, the way how Earth was made and the moon, it's just too perfect. There has to be a being of higher level to be able to do that.
God 100%. That's another thing. I feel like, honestly, what's going on right now is exactly what the Bible says is going on. Like, you want to know what's going on, just read your Bible. Like, it tells you.
So
how crazy is the room? Like you said, it's like it's so perfect. It's so perfect that the moon is in the position now that it can perfectly blocks out the sun.
Have you ever heard of the Rain Man before, Ruben?
The Rain Man?
The Rain Man, not the retard Rain Man, like the
Don't say retard.
Well, so the Rain Man that
Jimmy.
The Rain Man that is the god. He's like the god of the underworld, but he's also the god of the music world. It's like a demonic place in the music world. And they say that song. I don't know if you heard the song "Umbrella" by Rihanna. That song, everybody thinks unleashed something, and the Rain Man became more powerful. I think that's when I think that was the day that the devil became more predominant on Earth, and I think that's
what mythology
okay,
is it?
So Umbrella.
What culture is it from?
Well, no, it's no country. It's a all the way around thing. It's called the Rain Man. If you look up the song Umbrella stands for Ombre. Ombre is the god of the underworld. Okay. A lot of these singers, if you listen to all these singers that like talk about because devil was the angel of music, so he has a lot of like influentials in the music. If you think about a lot of these songs these days, you hear people going around or singing. A lot of these rappers are singing 3-1-2, 5-1-2. If you think about how you put a hex on somebody in like certain like religions or cultures, it's through numbers. We have all these people talking these things and rapping these things, not even realize what the fuck they're saying. Putting all this shit out here. We're putting all this stuff out there. We're putting all these influences out there. Not even know if we're doing it.
I do believe music is a very powerful magic.
I think that music and our media also too has a lot to do with like what's going on. And I feel like me personally, I think the devil is Apple. I think the devil is a computer. I think the devil is like AI.
So that's what we're using this.
So right now, I
heard it the other day, Ruben.
What?
It was what was the square root of 69?
Oh yeah.
8 something.
8 something. Anyway, but
I feel like ever since that song Umbrella has come out, there's been a lot of shift in our culture, like a big time shift in our culture. I really feel like whatever that was, like not only is Rihanna like reclaiming her undying love for the rain god, but he's finally he's finally walking amongst us, and the devil I think is finally amongst us in politics.
So I believe it. So right now this is from a movie called The Usual Suspects, and the guy said the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Make them worry that he didn't exist.
Yeah. So it's kind of an actual representation. They say instead of telling people what's your motive, you tell them what you're gonna do, and you try to tell them it's the right thing to do. Instead of putting the devil and God, you try to separate them so people can differentiate what is the politics and what is religion. And that's the biggest issue, that what politics and the world has done is separate religion, which religion is believing in God, but it also provided morals. It provided like how life should be lived.
Yeah,
religion to me is man-made. God is something that you can't deny. Like,
yeah,
I even feel like okay. So in the Bible, it talks about the 12 tribes. It talks about the whore that sat upon the hill. I think they're talking about. No offense if you're Catholic, I think they're talking about the Catholic Church, referring to Virgin Mary because they worship the Virgin Mary. And they worship Jesus and God like they should. And the Catholics have fucked up things.
The dragon the dragon they talk about in Revelations. The the hills, like you said, and the 7-headed beast and all this other stuff.
Ooh.
It's because of the 7 hills of Rome and
affiliated the Catholics.
It
even talks about.
And they also fucked up a lot of choir boys.
Well, they fucked up a lot of people believing. It talks about in the Bible that there's going to be a lot of false people that are going to come about talking about they're people of God, but their actions are going to say otherwise, and it's going to make people think that God's not real. Look at the stuff with the priests in the Catholic Church and everything else. The Catholics have really done a number with holding scriptures back from us.
And also banging a lot of your little choir boys.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, they have put a lot of doubt in people's minds, and it talks about that big time. And I really feel like we're seeing that more and more every day. We're seeing people who claim to be people of God, but they're not. They're so far from it. But this world is so woke, supposedly, that they think that these people are right, and they're not. They're so far from right. It's wrong. It's like...
What the hell were you talking about the other day? There were even portals in the Vatican or something?
Oh, yeah. So right now, people are saying that there's portals in the Vatican, which, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm theorizing is where they're saying portals in the Vatican may be like...
That's what they call little boys' buttholes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this portal. But...
Yeah. It's so funny. I actually have a crucifix here with Jesus on it, and we're talking bad shit. That's fucking hilarious.
Ooh, I almost ate an apple seed.
We're talking about shit about the people who false proclaimers of God.
Well, put it this way.
You see that more and more every day.
Like, put it this way. You know why the priests aren't allowed to fuck? They're not allowed to get married. They're not allowed to fuck. You know why, Ruben?
Why?
Because they're supposed to be converted.
Because if they had children, then all the shit that they had when they died would go to their children.
That's not always.
So if they don't have children and they died, then all their possessions go back to the church. Oh, we got our secondary.
We got another guest. Abby wants to join. Hell yeah. Well, honestly, with the whole church thing, all right.
You have to come in here and give your point of view.
So the whole church, all right. Catholic.
Let me introduce here my main man, Mr. Heath Bar. He's named after a candy bar. Apparently, they had a candy bar when they impregnated him or something. We're on a podcast, and so this is my man, Mr. Ruben. Mr. Ruben, Mr. Heath Bar.
How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? You doing all right?
Yes, sir. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. We're just talking about time, God, and everything, and how the world's fucked up.
If you want to take a seat, you're more welcome to join us.
Some of my favorite subjects.
Yeah, Heath Bar, I think, is very smart. He's one of my favorite people.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we play chess, but he has yet to beat me. He tied me one time.
How should he beat both of y'all?
Yeah, you wish.
Just let him win. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get ornery and stuff.
Yeah.
Ornery.
So, all right, Ruben, what's the topic? What are we discussing? And you can throw it at Mr. Heath Bar here.
All right, so right now what we're talking about is religion and how the devil right now has more of a prominent presence in our lives than God. And it's kind of true. The way you think about it, when's the last time you've been to church? When's the last time you did a prayer? Not much. You're over here,
Prayer every day.
I mean, do you always remember to pray every morning? Like, do a prayer in the morning, do a prayer before you go to work, do a prayer before you go to bed, A lot of people don't.
Everybody should say a prayer before they eat.
That too.
Especially if you're eating meat, something died for you to survive.
Yeah,
so
but a lot of people don't do it anymore because
it's all been forgotten.
Well, they forgot because the devil has influenced your life. If you take a step back and think about it, your life revolves in the 7 deadly sins, which is most of the time towards the devil. Most people want money, and whenever they get money, they want more of it, which gets greed. Well, whenever you get money, you want to get food. Well, sometimes you buy a lot more food than you should. You got gluttony. Then, with food and all that stuff, right? You eat too much food. You get a little bit, lazy. You get a little slothy, There you go, sloth. Now with sloth, sometimes, you get a little lazy and, sometimes you're feeling yourself and you get a little bit of lust. You get the porn in it,
The porn is a very bad thing. But to me, there's only really one sin, and it's love.
Love,
like, if you think about it, if you're greedy, you love money. If you're lust, you love pussy or dick.
Now, I feel like our problem is that we emphasize what love is, but in all reality, our idea of love is not what our idea of love should be. The best version of love is patient, love is kind, love is...
Oh, you eat a dick on that one.
But it's true, though. I mean, people say they love something for all the wrong reasons. They don't love in all reality, people say they love money, but do they really love money, or is it something they feel like is it more of a need? It's more of something they feel like they have to love.
So my thing about love is it's something you can't explain why. You like basically some people say like I could be with my girl and sometimes we be pissed off at each other, right? But then I'm still with her because I don't know why, and that's real love.
Love.
You can't explain why you love her. You just do.
Yeah, like sometimes you just go break cameras and shit.
And see, that's the thing, though. That's like in real. That
Oh my
is
God,
love.
Richard.
Because if you think about the whole idea of God is that He wants our true love. His true love is us to love Him without even knowing why. We don't even know why we love Him. We don't know where He is, what exists about it, but we know that we love it.
So
that's true love.
Stepped on something. So we should be putting God in our life, loving God first. Before even our spouse.
That's what you should, 100%. 100%. They tell you.
And just goosebumps. So God said, "Hey, you're
correct." You can't love anything else. If you can't love yourself, you can't.
And to me, all the sins come from love. Like it's love.
No,
like,
it comes from false love. It comes from the love that.
Yeah.
It comes from worldly love. Okay, I never understood the difference between walking in the flesh and walking in the spirit until I actually walked in the spirit. Walk in the spirit and letting go of all your worldly thoughts and all your worldly things. The worldly influences. The worldly influences is what's taking a toll on this. On our world. The worldly influences, this gangster personality where we all gotta be this big bad something we're not, and go around and show ourselves, you know what I mean? Do everything that we're not supposed to be doing. That's what this world is emphasized on. It's emphasized on this American westernization of a gangster, and in all reality that's so far from the godly ways of things. That's not what Jesus would do.
Yeah, you know? American eyes are horrible, to quote Rage Against the Machine. View the world from American eyes. We are like a fucked up country. I think we are a great melting pot, but we are a fucked up country.
Well, right now the country's fucked up. It's because we haven't had our morals in set, man. Like I remember 80, maybe 60 years ago, dude. Like how you said it, Richard, the other day. Like how you were comparing my family. Like our family was like a family from like the 1950s, 60s, the American dream, right? And then now you look at families now, whether you have different dynamics. Before it used to be the man, the man would provide for the family, and the mom would nurture and take care of the family. Now it's whatever anymore, right?
I thought the spirit of Jezebel has been unleashed as well. The spirit of Jezebel is something that goes into on women that makes someone leave their families, upshow men.
You'll get a job, and
no, it teaches them. The spirit of Jezebel is somebody who's non-caring, non-nurturing, She's all about herself. She does not care about her children. She does not care about her home. She will fuck and sleep with anybody to do what
Jezebel was quoted as a hoe, basically.
Jezebel was Satan's wife. It's the
wow.
Jezebel has been unleashed big time in this world. And
I didn't even know he had a wife. What the fuck?
Like, yeah, she's like Satan's whatever. Satan's whore, in other words. Jezebel. That's what I've always been told is Satan's whore, which makes sense. Is like Jezebel is like the epiphany of everything you shouldn't be.
It is the family dynamic, and Ruben's grown up a very Spanish background, I kind of grew up seeing that, but then now everybody's family's broken. Both parents fucking work. There's no keeper of the house.
Yeah, it's true, and it messes up the kids, man.
Yeah, because you don't have kids, you don't have people teaching their kids no more. They're teaching themselves.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is about families, you know what I'm saying? The kids growing up.
And nobody believes in a good old-fashioned ass whipping anymore.
That's true. That is true. Like, I'm not saying beat your kids. I'm saying discipline them, Make sure what's right and wrong.
Just slap them one good time.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I would, my parents would give me a nice whooping, but it made me the man of me today. I'm respectful. I have a good head on my shoulder. Now I look at this generation, the younger generation, and they're so disrespectful. They're so entitled. Like, it makes you think, like, what the fuck went wrong?
I tell you, I love old black ladies that got 4 or 5 kids, and that one little kid starts mouthing off and starts fucking bitching at them at fucking Walmart or something. And that lady that's sitting around just shut the fuck up. Like this, and the kid's like, for 1 second, he's like, you want a nut? There you go. You ain't gonna get one.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
You said, that we lost values and morals in this country.
Yeah, we have.
Same thing as the value of moral, we no longer. Like, I remember, 10 years ago, no businesses were closed on Sundays. People were freaking, nobody even values the worshiping day no more. Nobody values the day of rest. Like, Sunday is just another day to everybody.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A are a new sponsor now because they're closed on Sundays.
So,
Chick-fil-A.
Talk about Sundays, right? Well, think about Christmas and holidays. Where I remember before, Thanksgiving or like Easter, maybe most businesses were closed. Now you have a bunch of them still open on Christmas Day.
Even advertising. They even advertise, oh, we're going to be open. I'm like, oh, isn't that great? Just another person that's away from their family on a holiday. I hate this.
Literally.
I hate those signs.
Now, there is a few there is a few jobs that should be open on Christmas, like doctors, police, those are normal, But, like, McDonald's, why should McDonald's be open on Christmas? Why should,
sacrifice. Anything that you'll give your life for.
Yeah. Hey, give me just one moment. You guys talk it out. I'm just going to grab another beer real quick, and I'll be back in like a minute.
Yeah. Hey, Heath.
All right. What?
I'm yelling at Heath.
All right.
He proposed a question, the definition of love, so we'll talk amongst ourselves.
All right.
And we both agree that the definition of love is what you would die for. And I got goosebumps again, so God just goes, hey, you're right. Anytime I get goosebumps, for some reason, like, it is. Like, what would you die for? Like, you die for your kids, you die for your lover. I ain't going to die from a damn iPhone. Some people might, if you shut it off or...
Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like technology has, in a sense, it's ruined, like, okay, that's why, okay, so the very first Apple computer sold for $666.66.
That's funny. You know what the price of Skull is?
How much?
$13.34. So your change you get back from a 20 is $6.66.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I drank it. We should do Kristen and Richard's second prediction hour, like where we can do an actual tarot card reading. But I'm not.
This is the thing though. Like I've even been like going against my like astrology and shit. The more I'm getting, the more God again, because it tells you we're not supposed to do shit like that.
It's God says beware of soothsayers and false prophets and stuff like that. But magi, like my tattoo here says, and my tattoo on my back.
I like to draw my power from God though, not from the devil.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The Bible to me is full of fucking magic, and I like to consider myself magic.
Well, they have saying that when you're really big into God, you have 7 gifts that God can give to you. Okay, He could give you. You could also get all the same things from the devil as well. You have to learn the difference between where your power is being drawn from. Are your power being drawn from ill will, or are they being drawn from faith of God?
Can I get both?
No, you can't. You can't dibble and dabble. You can't play on both sides of the fence. So what a lot of people these days do, a lot of people say, this is another thing that makes me mad about the Catholics. So they say that, oh, you can do this, you can do that, as long as you ask for forgiveness. Like let's cook everything for a week.
That's
stand from somebody.
Yeah, whoever raped the first choir boys made that fucking law.
That's just standing on the fence, dude. You can't be one-sided. You have to be all or in. You can't be, okay, I'm going to do this because that's okay because I want to do it, but. Yeah. It doesn't make it right. No.
Yeah. So
you can go I can go sin. I can go do whatever I want as long as I go to church and go. Hey, how many Hail Marys do I have to say? And how many times do I have to say prayers on my rosary to fucking to get these sins away?
Yeah.
Because God is some bullshit. They don't like to give God and Jesus time for our sins without forgiveness. But at the same time, if you love Him enough and you love what He did for you enough, that after you commit those sins, you should feel bad enough about it that you won't want to keep doing it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but sorry only holds its value one time.
That's true.
Sorry.
So
thank you.
Like I'm gonna say, like Krista, no offense, like I am Catholic, but I don't care what you say because that, I'm second generation.
Not all Catholic people are bad. It's the way the church itself is representing.
It's true. When I went to the Catholic Church and when I did like the whole like confirmation, communion, and all that, I've questioned it too. Like, well, if you can tell them that you robbed the bank and they won't do anything. Like, what the heck? And
no, you can tell them like
anything, and they'll keep it as a secret. Like, just like I killed my first child because I didn't want to have a kid, and they're like, okay, God forgives you. Like, how does that work? How does that work?
And the priest goes, don't worry, I've raped like 10 choir boys. It's all forgiven. Just hold this necklace and say a couple of Hail Marys.
So my theory is, like, and I've told Richard about this. So in the Bible, there isn't much talk about the devil. There isn't really, like, it doesn't say the devil. Maybe it says Lucifer, I think. But
yeah, Lucifer only got brought around because there was a pope. The name Lucifer was only brought around because there was 2 popes or 2 bishops that were running for pope, and one of them was Lucifer, and the other guy literally printed out in the Bible that his Lucifer was the name of the guy, and then that's why he didn't become pope.
Yeah, well,
so there's no name mention of that. There's also the serpent in Garden of Eden, right? Which doesn't say it's the devil. It says it's a serpent, right? Then there's a couple mention of the devil with Jesus, and then there's a mention of the dragon at the end. None of those things fucking relate. None of them relate.
The devil is the lion.
Well, the lion. I don't know, but my take on it right now, and I've told you, Richard, a lot of times, and I'm gonna tell everyone, and I'm gonna see if y'all agree. What if there is no hell, right? You die, you go to heaven, right?
There's not
and
a hell.
You go up there, and God's like, "Congratulations, you lived the life of my creation." So hang out with your family and friends, and meet world leaders and and then you go up there and you see Hitler just having a drink with, Jimmy Carter. They're over here having fun, like, "Hey man," and you're over here looking like, "What? You're telling me I could have done whatever I wanted in my life and not suffer any consequences about going to heaven or hell for the rest of my life?"
So
because that comes back to the old saying, it's not our job to judge, it's God's job. So whatever agreement God have with them, that's between them. It's not our job to look at. We look at, that's almost like, like looking at your neighbor and wanting more what they have. That'd be the same thing. Like, okay, well, why is it you're able to do this? It's not our job to question or, really explain why he's allowed those. We don't know what could have happened in his past. We don't know what kind of value we could have made to God. We don't know these things. That's God's judgment to put who's there or who's there. We may not agree with it.
They say they say when you go up there, your name's in a book, right? And so to me, the definition of hell is God showing you the life you could have lived. Right?
Oh, that'd be the messed up part.
100% the best life you could live, and He tells you how close you came to it.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're like, you hit 90%, and you're like, oh man, fuck yes, I hit. That's an A+. But you go up there, and Hitler's like. He's like, hey, Hitler, you could have been an artist, a poet, whatever. You could have been fucking Jews and had a whole bunch of babies. Instead, you killed a whole bunch of Jews. You're at like 10%, 13%, something like that. To me, hell is God being disappointed in you. So you go up to heaven, and God's like, I gave you life and shit, and you could have done so much more. You motherfucker.
Stuff as Hitler was, believe it or not, he was a religious fanatic. His main reason,
an occultist.
He used what was going on in the world to make people believe in his views. And part of the reason he was trying to create the Aryan race is because they were God's people, and he wanted to bring them back so that Jesus would come back faster. He also sacrificed the Jews because they were the ones who killed Jesus.
No, wait a minute. We're supposed to protect the Jews.
But in his mind, I know we're supposed to protect them, but in Hitler's mind, that's where he was at. So that's when religion takes a whole new turn. Like, how much do you love God? Like, it's a weird, fucked up line. So, like, maybe if he is there, it's because God saw his undivided love for him in a weird, fucked up way. Like, not realizing that as humans, we make mistakes. So we were showing that we loved him that much, but not realizing that the consequences of that love. Like, it's weird. There's a really fine line there.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not backing Hitler. I'm not an Aryan Nation skinhead motherfucker, right? Like, so I'm not saying this, but Hitler was trying to do exactly what Star Trek was doing, and it's the good of the people, the good of the many outweigh the good of the few. So what Hitler was trying to do, he was trying to be like Darwin, like the evolution of the species, as in maybe one day we'll become angels if we keep progressing in the right way. But he tried to take natural selection that takes millions of years and tried to do it in 10 years.
He tried to play God.
Exactly. So he reaped what he sowed. Not to mention that he was on meth the whole time. And
so all right,
like
so
Jim Jones. People think that Jim Jones was a horrible person because he killed all those people and his followers. What people don't realize is that Jim Jones, yes, is fucked up, is what he did was wrong. In a way, if you look at it and you break it down to his point of view and where he was at in his state of mind, he felt like he done guided these people on the wrong way. And it says that in the Bible that if you give your life for somebody, that person you give your life for is a person
that shit was wrong.
Will go to heaven.
That shit was wrong.
So that's why he had all of his people. They killed it. He made sure that they died by suicide. Well, they didn't die by suicide. They died by his death instead of getting them to kill themselves. He killed them. He killed them. Well, yes, they.
You know about that, Ruben?
Wait, is this the Jones thing where they all drink
yeah,
Kool-Aid?
Okay, so fucked up this guy made
This is Jonestown.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I heard about it.
Okay, so this is his reason for doing it, though. As fucked up as he was, he felt like he done had all these people. He got all of a sudden he had a sudden change of heart, and he realized what he was doing was wrong. and to correct it, in his mind, he felt like to correct it was he needed to give his life for all of these people. So he killed his people all at once so that when they died, they wouldn't be alone at the Heaven's Gate. So they'd all die together. And that
Heaven's Gate was fucked up too.
And then he took his own life. He shot himself and took his own life as his sacrifice. So he sacrificed his life for his people so they would go to heaven.
Now I would have.
It even talks about it. One of those songs. It talks about preacher gives his life since his flock to heaven.
Now I would have more respect for him if he went around with a 22 and shot every motherfucker in the head. Because there's reports that they are force feeding these kids
I know.
Kool-Aid.
Well, it was flavored. Cheap bastard even
That's
fucking.
what I'm saying.
Some like grape Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid is one of our sponsors. Sorry, Kool-Aid. But they took days to die. Like when people got there, they were still days. It was horrible.
I worked with a guy who had to tag and identify the bodies of that, and that guy is fucked up in the head.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrible.
Well,
I watched the whole documentary.
So what's messed up about the Heaven's Gate, like the whole mass suicide, was everyone got recorded before they passed away, talking about how much they believe in this, right? That the world was gonna end and how a spaceship was gonna come and pick them up and take them to the new life. Well,
because it was on the comet, right? A comet.
Comet. Which reminds me of Shinedown.
You know, there's people who still believe in that shit.
Which is messed up.
Yeah, that's just like let's burn witches at this fucking stake shit. It's like, hey, a comet's passing by. It's an alien spaceship, and the only way we can transport there is by killing ourselves.
So see, the thing is, the Jill saying is that these people didn't realize they were going to die. This guy, he made it so that because if you die by suicide, you're not supposed to go to heaven. You're supposed to go to hell. So he wanted his people. He killed them himself and then took his own life as a sacrifice to make sure they all went to heaven.
As
fucked up as it sounds, in a weird, fucked up way. He made sure that his people went to heaven because he felt like he sent them along the wrong way. So it's a fucked up way of thinking. Very fucked up way of thinking. It's also love at the finest. Like he gave his life for these people.
It's also mob mentality.
It is.
Yeah.
Look at Waco. Straight up, look at Waco. It's like, we're not leaving. This guy's our fucking Christ. This guy's our preacher. It's once, like how you just said, the flock, right? It's like once you become the flock.
God, I forgot what. I think it was Bush or fucking Savage Gardens who sings that lyric where it says, "Preacher takes his life and sends his flock to heaven." That's what it's referring to.
Yeah,
well, it's like what they say. Like the most dangerous people are the ones that can move the people with bad intentions. So
oh yeah,
now that is the wizard that's the witch, the wizard that they talk about in the Bible. Beware of soothsayers.
Yeah, like they always say, an angel will make itself look scary, and a demon will make itself look beautiful just to allure you.
You know, I had this thing the other day, and they talk about Lucifer, the fallen angel, God's most beautiful angel. It's us. We're Lucifer.
I don't think so.
Think about it.
Well, I could kind of believe that. Like, well, think about it. You have the angel and the devil on your shoulders, right?
They say
that think about it.
His image, though, so he also created Lucifer, so therefore that's why Lucifer is beautiful.
Well,
he created people in his image, so therefore we're all beautiful.
Right. So you just gave me a parallel.
Well,
so we're in the Garden of Eden, right? And we were cast out of the Garden of Eden because we wanted the knowledge of God.
No, we were cast off the Garden of Eden. It just changed. It was no longer a peaceful place. He turned it into a place. I always tell everybody ignorance is bliss.
We were cast out.
I tell everybody ignorance is
God
bliss.
sent an angel down with a flaming sword to stop us from ever getting back.
I tell everybody ignorance is bliss. The reason I say ignorance is bliss is because the more you know, the more you...
crave.
The more you know is like the more you have your heart, like, okay, like let's say like if you like, for instance, when you love something and you don't know why, your mind has nothing to do with love. Your mind has nothing to do with love. Your mind is the devil's playground. Your mind can be deceitful. Your heart can't. The way you feel about something is how you feel about it. There's no changing that. Your mind can be deceived. Your mind can be tricked. Your mind can be changed. Your heart can't.
Well, if you think about it, so
knowledge sometimes can be a curse, a blessing at the same time.
Think about it, Mr. Rubin. So we were in the Garden of Eden, right? The perfect place. Might be considered kind of like a heaven, right?
We were considered the perfect place because it was ignorance, though.
And then we decided to take God's knowledge, right? Because we wanted to kind of be more like God. He created us in His image, but we wanted His power, His knowledge. So we ate of the fruit. So then.
Curiosity.
So he kicked us out of the garden, just like Lucifer fell.
Yeah.
And And if Lucifer was God's most beautiful angel, and we are basically, I'm saying we're angels with our wings cut off.
We fell for but Lucifer fell for different reasons. Lucifer became greedy.
Well, that brings like the name falling angel
Lucifer
to a new
way.
way.
He wanted to know why he loved us more than he loved him.
Oh my God! You ever think about that? So you know how there's angels, demons, and then fallen angels. What if fallen angels are us? We were about to go to heaven, but God was like,
I just told you that. I literally just told you that.
I don't think we're fallen angels. I do think fallen angels walk amongst us. Have you ever heard of the band Sleep Token?
No, I haven't.
Listen to Sleep Token. I swear the singer from Sleep Token is a fallen angel. I swear to God he is. If you listen to his music and you listen to things he says,
Token?
I'm convinced. Yeah, Sleep Token. I'm convinced he is a fallen angel.
Holy shit. You know what? Oh, he does look like a prophet.
He looks like he's a fallen angel. He looks like he's a fallen angel who wants to come back into God's grace.
I don't know, y'all are about to go Jim Jones down on this motherfucker.
No, listen. If you listen to some of his lyrics, especially the song "The Garden of Eden," he's on the song "Take Me Back to Eden."
Yeah.
He's like pretty much saying like he wants to come back, but like he knows he never can.
He wants to go back to heaven, but he can't. We are Lucifer is another name for mankind.
I don't think so. I don't think that. If that was the case, then why would God send his son down here to be killed for Lucifer? I don't think so.
You know what? Back. Sleep Token does look like, he like an angel that came down to speak the truth. Like, hey, you know.
I think he's trying to convince us to like.
How does he look like? He was born looking like a fucking angel?
No, the way how he's dressed, it looks like, like how it has like multiple eyes, and he's dressed like black and white. Like, it's fucking weird.
Okay, so the way he dresses makes him look like an angel.
He never shows his face either. It's weird.
I have a kimono. It doesn't make me look Japanese.
Oh my God.
If you listen to his lyrics, though, his lyrics sounds to me like he's trying to let us know, like, hey, I'm fallen. I wish I could get back there and I can't, but it's not too late for you.
Well, I don't know.
That's got Jim Jones written all over it.
Now, my buddy did say something kind of crazy. This is when I was younger. So what if right now what we're living in is hell? So this is kind of crazy, but just bear with me. So what if right now what we're living? So maybe it's not hell. What if we're in purgatory right now and we got to live a life? And God said, if you do everything right this time, you'll make it up to the big boys, right? You ever think about that?
You get your wings.
Yeah.
I've thought about that millions of times over again. Like I really have.
Like, what if this is hell and basically God's like putting a test on you and like he's like, all right, I'll let you play around in the devil's playground. How about that? Let's see what tempts you. And if you do like
that's technically the definition of Buddhism or Hinduism too.
Well, yes, it goes back to the power of free will. Free will is what's going to will you? Are you going to be willed in the good way or are you going to be willed in the bad way? In this world, you have God can't.
I'm going Hitler.
God can't make you love him, just like the devil can't make you love him. It's up to you which way you choose, what path you choose.
Well, yeah, So then we go back to the point where, what if when you die, everyone goes to heaven because God said, "I gave you the life, I made you the way you should be, and you could have done whatever you want." So basically, God could have made someone like. Eventually, he's like, "I'm not saying you're gonna be a murderer. I'm gonna give you the traits that would make you a murderer." But it's all about if you want to be. So, like, basically...
Well, to me, it's the separation between animal... Like, our brains are composed of 5 different brains, 6 different brains, and if you look at them, they are the reptile brain, the primate brain, and so on. And it's like, so we have this evolved fucking brain, so we are evolutionarily, like, the next step from animal. That's where, like, a monkey can't just go paint flowers.
I think that like what Ruben said, like he gave us the ability, he gives us certain things, and it depends on how much you have a love for God, whether you're willing to act on it. What purity? If you have the traits of a serial killer, but you choose not to be that way because you love God that much more, that's true love. That's what he wants.
So here we go. This is a great topic, and this is one we could talk about for forever and a day.
Yeah.
Is there free will or is there fate? Not faith, but fate. Fate. Is there a predetermined destiny, as in tomorrow? Is it already predetermined, or do you have free will?
So that's a trick question. So I tell you, like I say, there's fate, and God, no matter what you're gonna do, He already knows it's gonna happen. Now you do have free will.
You know why? Because you're gonna die one day. You're gonna die one day, and that's what God knows. God knows everything. You know what He knows? You're gonna die. So God knows everything.
There's a saying that
I don't think, if this is a very dangerous subject, by the way. So if God knows everything that's going to happen and everything is predetermined, then I can take a gun right now and shoot myself in the head, and that's God's will.
Technically, yeah, it is
say
God's will.
That's why you go to hell for it.
But it'd be God's will because that's fate.
Well, that's why I bring the topic. What if there is no hell, and that was God's intention? He's like, eventually.
God gave us the freedom to choose. God, that's my firm belief. We are our own universe, and like God gave us the complete choice for our actions. God knows everything. He knows everything. He knows the future because she. By the way, God to me isn't a he. Like it's a they.
It's an entity.
Whatever.
It has no.
I mean,
it's non-binary.
It knows the end game. It absolutely fucking knows the end game. But if you're telling me God knows what I'm going to do tomorrow, that my decisions right now do not affect that, that technically any decision I make is predetermined, then that's a very bad way to commit suicide.
Well, technically, God could have been saying, like, you know what? Your life is predetermined. I have multiple ways how your life is going to be happening, and you're on the path that chooses this way. So technically, He's like, you had many choices. Every choice you made led you to this decision. So I'm not saying that's
a perfect example because, like you said, God knows everything. So He knows the multiverse, the 100,000 million things that you could do. So He knows everything.
Yeah, He knows. What if one day you reach your lowest, and because of all the bad decisions or risky decisions you made, led you to that. He's like, it's either He's gonna keep on going, or He's just gonna end it all, or something's gonna happen that brings him back up. It's not about.
So He knows every choice.
Yeah, He knows every choice. He knows.
That means we still have free will.
Yeah, you have free will, but there's already a predetermined result. You know that. Like, there's already obviously, if
there's not a finite one predetermined result. Just because God knows 1,000 different results doesn't mean He knows. Put it this way: if God knows if I'm going to flip a coin, and the coin's going to come heads up or heads tails. Then why should I flip a coin?
I'll do this right now. So, if it's in God's will, and my free will, I want this bottle cap to land on Corona, right? On the bottle cap, the label. I want it to land on the Corona.
All right, so I believe in the devil then. So I want it to land on the opposite side.
All right. Ready? I'm about to flip it.
Never bet with a wizard.
And you won.
I know. You know why? Not because I believe in the devil, but because the bottom side of that cap is heavier than the top side. Do it again.
I'll do it again right now.
Do it 2 more times. It'll always land on.
All right, I just did it the second time, and it landed on the bottle cap, like the label up.
Okay, so so we're even.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So third time is charm, right?
Whoever hits 3
Oh! First. So it did the label up again.
All right, so now this one you'll throw it and it'll stand perfectly straight up.
So I'm about to do it one more time and see what happens. Oh! Ha! It did it again! So now I'm about to bring up a topic. So what if I did the first time and I said, fuck, you wanted the devil to win, he won, and I just stopped doing the coin flip. Instead, we did the coin flip again, and God showed us that we shouldn't have lost faith in Him.
Did me giving you a cookie make you feel better, or did me telling you that the cookie would make you feel better make you feel better? That's from The Matrix, by the way.
Well, it's like me telling you.
You haven't watched The Matrix? Have you watched The Matrix at all?
I have. Or it's like me telling you, did me acknowledging what you said made you feel better, or did me agreeing with you after you said?
That's a good parallel. Yeah. That's pretty good parallel. Yeah.
But
because anything you study, you change, right?
Yeah, you change. So let's change the topic. Is Krista still there?
No, I think everybody did that for me for one second. My life is a whirlwind.
All right, so all right, Krista and Heath is gone. All right, we'll switch the topic. That was actually a good.
How many viewers we got?
So it was at
Jimmy?
10. We had 10, but now it's going back. It went back to 8.
Oh God, we suck.
Oh my god. Well, not everyone's gonna keep watching, but don't worry. We have a year. We're gonna do this for a year. How about that, brother?
How about we're definitely doing that. How about you post some pictures?
I'm planning to start well, I can post some pictures right now.
Go. I'll send you some. So let's see here. Oh, it is 3:13, and let's see here. What's going on? Remember, no dead air. Keep talking no matter what.
Ooh, I got an idea.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Just keep talking. My dad just asked me, got seeds for the greenhouse. So, what did you do today, Ruben, to I don't know, to benefit the earth?
You know what I did? I help a guy go to a bar and finally have him talk to a girl.
Yeah, you told me how you gave him a hand job too.
No, what the motherfucker? No, but no.
Hey, that's content, baby. That's content.
All right, actually, I'm gonna bring up something, and it's actually true. And I've always been telling him that he needs to go out more. So, if you want,
don't mention names.
Not mentioning any names, but if you want, all right. So this could go for guys or girls. But if you're trying to do something in your life, right? You want a girl, money, or something. What is the main motive? What is your main motive to doing it?
To have a family, to get pussy, to get fucked,
So,
security.
Yeah, but
Security. To have a home.
Yeah. So your main motivation is yourself, right? You have to do it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So I have a buddy, I'm not mentioning his name, but
Let's just say it rhymes with never mind.
Yeah. But he wants a girl, right? And but he won't talk
Everybody
to her
wants a girl.
because supposedly he knows that no matter what happens, it always ends the same. They're not with him. And unfortunately, that's not the case.
He's just an idiot.
But any girl, obviously, a girl's going to want a guy that is stable, Some guy that has a job, a car, and his own place. But most of the time, not every girl's going to want that. Some girls are like, I'm okay if he works and he has his own car, or, if he has his car, I can work with it.
Some girls don't give a shit, and we call them hoes.
Yeah, some girls don't care. But the point is that the reason why life is beautiful is that there's always a surprise, because the ugliest guy ever,
there you go, boy.
the ugliest guy ever can end up with the prettiest girl on the street.
Yeah, sometimes you walk by a guy and you're like, "That's your bitch," and they're like, "Yeah." You're like, "How the fuck?" I've even been told that. I've been told like, "How?"
How did you do it?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm funny, and I also got a big ego. So here you go. Here's some pictures. Why don't you post these fucking pictures up? I think they're all legit.
All right, yeah, send them over.
Women are nest builders. Right?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true. I'm still I know it was hard to talk to Krista because she went off to the whole Lucifer having a wife, which I didn't know. But it's I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back to.
Like I said, we need to do like a fact check at the end of the shows.
Yeah, we do got a fact check. Okay, so you want to post C's magician? Okay, I'll do that. So I'm gonna email all these.
So you know what I did today, Mr. Rubin, which I'm working on still right now. And when we get done with this podcast, I am putting plastic over my greenhouse so I can propagate food and vegetables. That's what I'm doing with my life today. So I don't really necessarily have a family or kids, even though I did have some. But instead of just doing nothing, I'm gonna go fishing, maybe feed like Jesus, feed people some fucking fish, and I'm gonna go do some propagating some plants and redo the greenhouse and make sure the plants have earth, air, fire, water, and And I'm also going to redo mahjong tiles, vintage mahjong tiles, into tarot cards, which is actually kind of my thing right now. That's like going to be a passion.
Yeah. So.
And my pussy is licking itself right now.
Hell yeah. But so like I was saying before, what's family morale? And whether you call me misogynistic or whatever, I am a firm believer that I think a family should be traditional. The guy provides, the woman yeah. But like what I was trying to go
look at the animal kingdom. Yeah. Look at the motherfucking animal kingdom.
All right, so I'm about to show people the first image you sent me. All right.
Okay. All right, but in the chimpanzee gorilla world, someone goes to fucking fight, and there's no way the woman goes, "Hey, you know what? I got this." Sorry. Hey, what would you like? So a big silverback comes into the gorilla population, right? Yeah. Like, I'm here to kill your babies and fuck you. And the big fucking silverback daddy goes like, "Oh, hell no, you ain't." And then the half-size mama goes, "I got this." No. She's just gonna get killed. We are defined by our genealogy, fucking our body structure. Like, there's this old Hindu guy, and I wish I could fucking pull it up. There's this Hindu guy, and he's like, he talks like this. I'm gonna do my whole Quickie Mart thing from The Simpsons. Like, yeah. He's like, "Hey, we want to be treated as equals, women and men. We are not equals." And everybody goes, "Oh." Like he's about to say something bad. He goes, "No, we are not equals." He's like, "Men have their role in this, and women have their role in this. Men is not superior than women. Women are not superior than men. We are equal but different in different lines. And that's why we come together for a family. And that structure has been broken." And everybody goes, "Fuck me. Are you the new Jesus?" Like, he's got like a beard like 3 times as long as mine. And he's like literally like I don't know what you call him, but he's like literally badass fucking magic dude. He's just like, "Y'all are stupid." He's like, "Y'all are stupid." Like, America, to quote Rage Against the Machine, view the world through American eyes. It's fucked up. The whole world family dynamic is fucked up.
It is. I mean, like, before, when you like, I think the whole issue is that everyone is supposed to be something. And, that's great, And sometimes, you want to be someone, but you can't be, like, I'm gonna call it guys and girls, all right? So, you want to have a family, right? But you also want to change the world, But you can't do both at the same time. You gotta choose one or the other. The same thing with a girl. You want to raise this family and cook and clean, but you can't also do college or do your career at the same time. It's going to be hard. You're going to be juggling balanced work life, and it's going to affect the children. The same with the guy, If a guy worked like 16 hours a day, the kids don't see him, the kids are going to feel a little upset, Same with the wife. Yeah. Now, a guy that had a very good paying job, works 8 hours a day, comes home, spends time with the children. That's a nice family. The wife cooks, cleans, takes care of the kids. Boom, the kid's going to grow up knowing how life should be, All right.
You brought this up, keep up with your neighbors kind of thing.
Yeah, like, keep, well, I think Krista brought that up, the neighbors thing. So I'm showing people the pictures you just showed me.
And the fact she brought that up, it's to me in my childhood. So I was like 12, 13, 14, and all of a sudden my mom wanted a job. Now my grandma had a job. She was a school teacher, blah, blah, blah. Still took care of the family, but my mom wanted a job. Well, when she got a job, it's like she wanted more in her life. My dad is the hardest working man ever, just like your dad, Ruben. Literally, our family's dynamic is about the same.
Basically,
right?
Yeah.
So, but then all of a sudden my mom's like, "I want a divorce because the grass is greener over on that side." And my dad, even though he's a crazy motherfucker, which he will hopefully be on the show, I'm gonna have to bribe him, but crazy as shit, but she like dipped out, right? Got her own life, did all this stuff, went through like all this work, and to my brother and I split. I went with my mom. She went like we were both gonna stay with the dad, but I split up trying to take care of my mom, and the whole family dynamic just shattered.
Really?
And it caused a lot of problems. It caused a lot of problems with me, a lot of problems with my brother, and because the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, as in everybody should work to raise a child. And when there's like, not to bring up emotional shit for me, but I used to send my ex a picture of two cranes. And the cranes that, cranes, Ruben, because we got a special bond with cranes.
Yeah.
They're always together. Once they get down, they're down for life, right? Because they understand it takes two.
Yeah, it takes two.
Like Kung Fu, motherfucking Bobcat. It used to be fucking tigers back in China, where Kung Fu came from. But one goes out there and protects the baby, and one goes out there and fights.
Yeah.
And that is literally the dynamic of everything. Look, like we are animals, essentially. We are motherfucking animals. Look at the animal kingdom. Like, look at gorillas. Look at elephants.
Yeah.
Look at everything. It's like, hey, there's a threat. Who goes out? The big boss.
Okay.
Right? The silverback, the man, goes out. He goes out to fucking fight. And the woman grabs the kid and hides or fucking protects him. Because otherwise, they're all gonna, all the kids are gonna die.
Okay, that makes sense.
Almost every fucking species, if a new male kills the big boss, he kills all the children.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Because he wants to, millions of years of evolution, men want to fuck. That's why porn's so successful. That's why everybody jacks off every fucking day. That's why we chase everything. We want to have sex that's just ingrained into our mentality, right? We want to be dominant. We want to have sex, and so we are going to fight for that. Every damn species fights for sex to the death, to the motherfucking death.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, It
is literally bull elephants will There's this whole thing about bull elephants. They started shooting the fucking big ones, right? Because they're holding the herd, so they would let people pay $50,000 to kill a big bull elephant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they took out all the daddies, right? And then what they were left with, 13-year-old elephants that are horny as fuck.
Really?
Guess what happened? Instead of them fucking,
they're fighting.
Because they're so little. No, they started killing people.
Really? What the heck?
Yeah, so people were riding their bicycle down. Hey, it's just a happy day in Africa or India or whatever. They're riding there. All of a sudden, boom, fucking elephant. Just literally kills them, stomps on them, just fuck you, Jimmy.
Fuck you, Jimmy.
Yeah, dead. They couldn't figure out why. And then every elephant that killed somebody was leaking musk out of the side of his fucking head. And that's a sign of that they're in puberty, that they're wanting to fuck. They're in rut. They call that with deer. When a deer gets in the rut, a deer, if you go hunting and it's normally you hunt in the rut season, so you could just put out a bomb or something that smells like deer pussy, or you could fucking clack antlers together. But there's literally, you can look it up. There's videos of guys, and there's deer that are just well, you don't really look like a deer, but the deer's I'm gonna fuck you anyway. Because they're that fucking horny. That's why they call it the rut.
Yeah.
So it's they are so horny, it drives it doesn't matter. It drives them insane. It's they just smell deer pussy, and it's the time of year, and they're this is the time where I get pussy, and they fight to the fucking death. And there's literally hunters out there with bows, and they'll shoot 2 or 3 arrows into a damn deer, and the deer's nah, I'm gonna take that ass.
No.
Literally, and the hunter's no! And the deer jumps up and knocks him to the ground, and he's no! He's the deer's yeah, it's payback time, bitch.
So, I got a question.
I'm not playing.
What are your thoughts right now that whether the government of the world is trying to stop us from eating meat and want us to eat more plants? How do you feel about that?
They're stupid as fuck.
So, yeah, so do you believe that red meat is bad?
No.
Okay.
Why?
So
because back in the day, you used to say, "Oh, it'll give you fucking hot." cancer and fucking like,
Yeah.
oh, you'll have high cholesterol because you'll eat fucking. No, it's not. If you have an active now, if you eat a steak a fucking day, or you're at fucking, if you pound a quarter pounder or a burger or a Whopper every fucking day, and you're sitting beside a fucking a desk, then yeah, that shit ain't no good for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll probably
yeah,
get high
you're right.
cholesterol and have a blockage. But if you do the work you and I do, Ruben,
Yeah,
where
we don't
you're
have to worry
grinding
about
all
it.
day, you pound that shit, that fucking fat goes out of you in like 2 seconds.
Well, like, okay, so there was a study years ago that I don't know who did it, but someone did a study saying they asked a lot of people in America, and they did research, and they're seeing like all of these like people like, oh wow, all these people have cancer and heart attacks because of red meat. What they weren't looking at is, well, what are their lifestyles? Were they smoking, drinking?
Exactly.
What were they sitting around? Were they what were they doing?
Yeah, when they were eating fat asses.
So
Yeah.
my belief is, and now at first it's like red meat ain't bad for you. Well, maybe if you went to a farm, it's not bad for you. But now, like one of my coworkers said, well, I believe it because all the hormones and steroids they're putting in these cows. I believe that it is bad for you. He said, go buy it at a local farm that doesn't do that. Don't buy it at Walmart. Don't buy it at Publix.
So what are they eating in return then?
What do you mean?
So instead of eating fucking beef, so they're eating vegetables.
Yeah,
right?
so
Let's just say
either eat soy, like
Okay.
be a soy boy.
Okay, my family, let's not say what really my family is, but my family has 200-300 head of cattle. Right? I'm not involved in that shit. I'm the black sheep. Literally, there is nothing that goes into these cows except for like the last minute when they get vaccinated for worms or some shit before they get shipped off to market. In order to grow a watermelon, one motherfucking watermelon, I sprayed 5,000 gallons of chemicals every week for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 times 5, 40,000 gallons of chemical on a watermelon.
Well, you always got to think about that. That chemical goes in the roots and in the ground. So eventually, that water gets that chemical, and eventually that chemical goes in the sky. So eventually the grass is going to get that chemical, and what does cows eat? Grass.
Kind of not really, especially when you spray with heavy. So there's this weird thing. P.S. Everybody, organic. If you're buying organic, you're an idiot. Like, organic's not organic. Organic uses like the worst fucking chemicals you could possibly fucking use. Like, they're heavy metals, like copper, just straight up copper. P.S. Copper's not shiny. Copper's blue. Copper is like devastating to fish. So to your eyes, it's so like literally when I was spraying copper protects you. It's like almost every fungus, right? So copper is like a main go-to for back in the day. So you spray copper and it's blue. It's not shiny. It's blue, and you spray it, and on the package it goes, "Do not put in the fucking water because it'll kill every fucking fish, like every fish."
Yeah.
And it also goes, "Do not get it in your eyes because it causes irreversible eye damage. Like, you'll never get your eyesight back if you get this shit in your eyes."
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So it's like the whole organic thing is literally some hippie fucking shit that fucking people go, "Oh, look, it's organic."
It's a market. It's a market. You gotta make some money. And it's
fucking.
It's these buzzwords, man. Like, I hate, So I know, like, not to cut you off, but like I feel you. Organic is bullshit because real organic is what you grow out in the backyard. That's organic.
Right, with your own fucking shit.
Not what the USDA stands for organic. That like I remember I was talking to a flea market farmer. He's like, well, I mean, I asked him, like, is this organic? He's like, I mean, it'll pass as organic, but we don't pay for the license.
Like, what the fuck does that mean? Put it this way too, no one checks this shit. No one checks anything at all. There's no like. So, and if you think, oh, hey, it's only here, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think people are fucking checking in Mexico if they're following the organic fucking regulations?
Probably not. They're just growing it and selling it.
So literally, they grow it. They don't spray organic.
Yeah. And
then they go, it's organic, and they go, oh, it's easy, senor.
Hey, Mr. Richard, I'm gonna have a pee break real quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Oh shit.
Try to ramble on, or try to bring Krista back. How about that?
No, I'm not doing it.
All right, or
so,
Heath.
But I'm at the dock, and I'm about to do some sustainable fishing. And so, what sustainable fishing is that you don't take every fucking fish. And like Jesus, I could take a little bit of bread and make a lot of fish. But you also, just because you catch a big fish, you don't want to just straight up eat it. Because maybe that fish that you put back in your lake will give you 100 more fish in a couple years. Or maybe 1,000 fish. So white people especially have this idea that you catch a big fish and you want a trophy. Which now you can take a picture of it and make a trophy, and they can make you a styrofoam fucking fish and shit like that. So you don't have to kill that fish, which is great about fishing because you can catch and release. Unlike hunting, where pretty much if you hunt, you kill, right? So I think I do agree with hunting, but you can catch a fish, take a picture of it, take the measurements of it, have it mounted at a styrofoam form, and still release this beautiful fish back into your fucking own lake.
Yeah,
that will make you 1,000 more fucking babies.
So
I was just talking about sustainable fishing.
Oh, sustainable fishing. Well, here's another thing.
Yeah,
so
like I said, white people fucking want a trophy. So you want to get this big fucking fish and then mount it, right?
Yeah.
And it kills the fish. But now you can get a styrofoam fish, and they can make it look just like the fish you fucking caught. And you could throw that fish back. That's a female. More than likely, the biggest fish you catch are female that are full of eggs.
Yeah.
So by not killing that fish, you put it back in the lake, and it gives you 1,000 more fish.
Okay.
So
sustainable
fishing.
So on my job, I'm not gonna say where I work, but let's just say it's continental. How big it is. But they have their little
continent.
Yeah, who cares? So they have their little they have some lakes that you can fish at. But right now, for some reason, as of further notice, you can't. It's catch and release. You know, why can't you keep it? So it's been like that for over a year. You know.
Well, I wouldn't eat that fucking fish or anything in the damn world.
Yeah. So I was telling my coworkers they're saying, oh, because they had, some of my coworkers and some people live in there say, oh, it's because they don't have enough fish right now. Like, no, it's because they're infected right now. They have too much chemicals. They're spraying too much stuff in the air. They're spraying too many things in the water and the grass and everything.
It's grass. It's the St. Augustine grass. It's the worst thing that fucking Florida has ever fucking done. And just because the name St. Augustine, everybody goes like, oh, I know St. Augustine. Like, oh, it's the first city in Florida, St. Augustine. I'm gonna get their fucking grass too. Fantastic name from the fucking buyer or whoever made St. Augustine grass. But it is like the worst fucking grass you could fucking buy.
Yeah.
And I've seen a change here on my fucking lake. And I just went up to the doctor. I'll send you a couple of pictures. They literally put like 10 houses from a school, like a golf course school, beside my house. And my entire life for like 20 years, I never saw anything change until they put these houses up. And when they put these houses up, they started spraying and they started putting fertilizer down and then nitrogen. And if you look up St. John's River, which that's a big deal here, St. John's River like authority, that people started they made them stop. They made them stop doing that shit because nitrogen is like gasoline. They made them stop doing that shit. Plants, right? Yeah. So they spray your grass, it rains, or you irrigate too much, it runs off into the water. The water gets the fucking weeds, they grow like 10 times as big. It changes the whole dynamic of the fucking lake.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Because we don't give a fuck, because we're stupid humans. I don't think we make it like 2 hours, but we're actually fucking creeping on.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half right now. We don't have to do 2 hours, but I'm trying to get. I
think we're good.
Yeah, you think so?
I actually might go out on the boat, and we'll see if I can catch some fish. We can do like some live action fucking fishing.
Well, maybe next time, because I don't know. Like, if you had good internet and if you download some apps so we can kind of live stream what you're showing, I could pop it up on here and they'll see you fishing.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that. I'm still waiting on my taxes thing. I think I got both my tax fucking things. Thank you God for tax seasons. I wish I had a kid so I can get that $6,000.
I'm hoping that Trump gets rid of our income tax. Not gonna lie.
What? Get rid of income tax and
Just
we still have to fucking. That's how we get our fucking taxes back, nigga. Or Jimmy. Sorry.
No,
Richard.
No, there's no way to bleep it out. It's live.
That's fine. To let everybody know, I do have a black brother.
Okay. Relax.
I have a black brother, and my daughter's aunt and uncle are black, and I'm not racist because I'm colorblind. I'm picking watermelons.
All right.
And everybody's gonna say that's a racist thing.
Yeah. So guys, my boy Richard's from the South. He's Florida, from the swamp. So sometimes.
Don't apologize. You're making it worse.
Yeah. But besides that,
they don't even know if I'm black or not right now.
That's true. That is true.
I'm pretty sure they know I'm not black.
Well,
we need to bring up that topic one day. Let's talk about the N-word.
Oh my God. Well, it's like what there's a YouTuber years ago, iDubbbz. He used to say it all the time on the internet. No one would. He was white too. No one would say anything against him, and it's because he said it. You know what? What I hate about these derogatory terms, and he was like, I hate that some are bad and some are good. No, it's either it's all bad or they're all good. Or no, not all good. It's like either none of it. No. The way Haley said it was like, it's either none of it's okay or all of it's okay.
Dave Chappelle did it the best. Where they all got together and they go, all right, all racial terms are canceled. We can say whatever we want to say. You can say whatever you want to say. And everybody and they're like, they shake hands. They sign all the papers. They shake hands. And all the black people are like, what's up, cracker? White ass, honky, like this. And the white guy goes, what's up, man? And then they beat his ass.
Nah.
After the whole deal was signed. It's hilarious. But it's just like, hey, Ruben, you a wetbag.
I don't care.
Well, why isn't that getting canceled? That is a very derogatory term.
So all right. So I'm about to say something controversial, and everyone that's listening to this, all right, I am not anti-Semitic. I love my Jewish people. I love everyone from Israel. I love everyone equally. So I'm not against them.
I have a big nose.
Oh my God! But as I'm saying, I love everyone. I'm not against anyone. But what's funny is how
come there's a one racial term or slur that's
not racial term or slur. I'm saying why is it when someone makes a very, very offensive comment or something bad about the Jews, they're referred as anti-Semitic. But if you do it with any other race or type of people, you're known as
There's
racist.
not another word for it.
You're just known as a racist. It's racism. But
yeah, and you have a right to say this because you're Mexican. Like I said, so if I go, hey, you're a wetback, all right? You go, hey, that's anti-Mexican.
No, you say, oh, yeah, you say that's racist. But once you say something about Jews,
like I just slipped and said the N-word. Sorry, my Jimmies, but no one goes, you're anti-Black African American. It is way weird.
Yeah, well, it's weird, and it kind of we're gonna go back, kind of not for too long, but the Bible, how it says that the Jews are God's people. So it's kind of weird that
you know who wrote that?
Who?
The Jews.
Yeah, and actually, so I love this anime called One Piece. One Piece is awesome. One of my it's peak fiction. The way how you always say, Richard, your famous lines is how art imitates life. And I think what's happening right now in the world is what One Piece is. So they have these people called the Celestial Dragons. And they're known as, gods. They're the people of gods,
Like super white Hitler race.
Yeah. So no. But think of it like the Jews, how like they're God's people, and if you think about what's going on with the Israel and Palestine war, like everyone just like the big countries jumped on Israel's side, but then the people that like took a step back and looked like, well, I understand about like yes, what Hamas did and what Palestine did wasn't great, but it is no reason to promote genocide,
Yeah, which is basically what. All right, I'm about to go off on a little tear. So, the Gaza Strip is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not backing anybody that does this shit to kids. Put it this way, kids are number one in my book.
Yeah.
If you want to know if you're a racist motherfucker, if you're a hateful fucking person, if you walk by a little black kid and call him N-word, or you walk by a little Mexican kid and call him a wetback, or if you don't help any kid that's in need, you are not just a racist, you are a horrible person.
Yeah.
And growing up through my life, I was always told that the Jews are, and now there's probably 1,000% people that are good, but what they are doing to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip is absolutely horrible.
Well, yeah,
I went to the Japanese news station, JHK, opened my eyes.
Well, like, you gotta think about it. Their excuse is, we don't know if they're terrorists or not. Like, what? So you're telling me a baby's a terrorist? Like, how does that work?
No.
How does that
That's
work?
not even their excuse. Their excuse is just religion.
Yeah, it's really like, oh, well, they're not my people. Really? They're not my people.
Yeah. So, it's not only that. The problem with the Gaza Strip and where they're at, it's like, I watched this lady from Japan that came over, and she was an artist. And I do dabble in art. I'm getting kind of good. But she was fantastic in art. And like 20, 30 fucking years ago, she flies over there to the Gaza Strip, and she brings a whole bunch of like paint. And the kids are like, what's the color?
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck do you mean? She's like, that's blue and yellow and red. They're like, my bad. I've just never seen blue and yellow and red. And she went, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
how do you not, how come you've never seen blue?
Yeah.
They're like, well, we live in the Gaza Strip. They cannot leave. They are in a ghetto surrounded by other people.
Yeah.
Put it this way, like, just let them go. If they want out, like, they draw pictures of fucking airplanes, imagining one day that they'll leave.
Yeah.
They cannot, you cannot, if you're a like, I don't give a shit about their religion. I don't give a fuck. But you can't leave that spot. It's a ghetto. It's jail. These little kids, they draw pictures of goats, Ruben. And they're like, well, my dad told me about a goat. I've never seen a goat.
Really?
There's no animals. There's no animals. There's no colors. There's no nothing. And they're like, we want to get out. Like, we got money to get out. They won't let us out.
Damn.
That's a ghetto. And that is hurtful to see coming from these little kids.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not anti-Semitic. I have long, pretty blonde hair, which is a little bit bald, but I'm not a Nazi. But you fucking fuck with kids, and you're on my list.
Yeah.
So
I sent you a text real quick.
That's awesome. Copy that.
All right. So before we start, dwindling down a bit, we're gonna talk some lighter stuff. I know we went a little bit everywhere, religion and stuff and stuff like that, but I want to turn it around to the people. So I know we have 9 people right now. I realize that there's not many people typing in the chat, so it's all right. But my question for today is, do you believe that your life is in your full control? And that are you living the best life you want to be?
The first one, I'd say no. The second one, that's definitely up to you. My end of the day thing would be like, what have you done today for the planet?
Well,
And what have you done today for yourself?
Honestly, I kind of treated myself today. You know, I went to the bar this morning. You know, enjoyed some day drinking. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a little bit back and forth. That's pretty good. I think number 3 was pretty good. Fucking, I know Krista is like our resident psychic witch.
So
you know,
I think, Krista was a good part, and I know Heath didn't say much, but having that extra person does bring that, like,
definitely.
yeah. I know me and you can
But
talk.
hey, he's wanted to, but every time he wanted to say something, he got cut off.
Really?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think three is the magic number. We can't have 4 because once you have the 4th person in, it's like you're all waiting a turn now.
Yeah, and I was like trying to tell Keith like to speak up. So, but I'll talk to him and I'll see if I can actually pencil him into where we can do the next podcast.
So Krista's
and then we
cool
get a lot
because
of
she's
viewers
just
until
Krista's kind of crazy.
oh, my chickens are raping each other outside.
Oh, okay. We should get Justin on.
Yeah, Justin, my dad, totally. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Trying to convince Riley to get on our podcast. He would fucking be badass.
I don't think he will, because you know what I'm saying.
I know, but he's smart.
We need to be like protection. He's got a voice like protection. Like,
oh my God.
You know, you gotta do like that.
I'll figure something
when you
out.
kidnap somebody.
All
right, Mr. Ruben.
All
love
right,
you to death.
Mr. Richard.
Thank you for always being my best buddy.
No problem. And thank you to all the 9 people that have been watching us. It's been a kind of a crazy podcast. This was kind of a, just speaking our mind.
Send us 9 more, and we want to hear some people call in and talk to us so we can get some other people's point of view.
So next podcast, when do you want to do it?
What do you say, like Sunday? So like we'll do Tuesday, Thursday, or whenever. Yeah, that's not a good thing to say. So
let's either
Tuesday.
Let's do Tuesday. How about that? Yeah, Tuesday, next podcast.
Let's do Tuesday. We'll do this podcast around 7:00.
All right, guys. Well, we see you on the next time. It was nice for y'all tuning in. It's your boy Ruben.
And Richard the Wizard, baby.
Peace out.
All right. Out.